why customizing WordPress goes beyond pro web design skills. Let's get right in it. The importance of customized websites. Customized websites create lasting impressions. They usually tailor toward a niche or a niche, depending on which one you want to go with, audience, and differentiate from competition. When it comes to creating a customized website, not necessarily a custom website, you are doing something that is going to stand you out from the crowd, even if you're not starting from scratch. And you need to keep that in mind. It's really about standing out from the crowd, not always necessarily starting out from scratch. Next, we have building a unique brand identity. So the same thing that I mentioned about standing out from the crowd or being unique when it comes to a customized website, your brand identity and your branding in general is just as important, if not more important, to help you with the customization phase. We're talking about brand strategy, brand messaging, and brand identity. I think a lot of us understand that the word branding or branding in general is used a lot more common these days, but I don't think most of us understand what that means and what are the elements of your complete brand or brand system. And these are just a few things that create that system. That way you can customize your website and you don't have to be a professional. The power of first impressions. So you don't have to be a pro designer or a freelancer or even a amateur or artiste. You don't have to be any of that. What you do need to understand is first impressions are very powerful. And one example of that is when it comes to Apple. Now, I know this could be a controversial topic. Some of you all are Microsoft and Android heads. I'm an Apple head. That's just me. But one thing I can say about Apple, even though I have a love and hate relationship with them, is that their first impressions are impeccable. They are some of the best introductions to products or ideas that I've ever seen from a company or a brand. And I know that a lot of brands copy, duplicate, or model a lot of their approaches. And this grid system here, these images, they're not that complicated. Now, I know that what you see on the images as far as the products, those things are more complex to create the products, but the images themselves, look at how simple this is. It's simple, it's sleek, it's minimal, it's big or bold, it sticks out. Your brand may be different, but just keep these things in mind that this is what creates a first impression, or this is one of the elements that help create a first impression. The first time somebody sees your website, do you give them this feeling, these emotions immediately? And here's a good article from PR Newswire right here, where it talks about a well-designed user interface. I'll highlight it. A well-designed user interface could raise your website's or software's conversion rate by up to 200%. Research shows that 94% of people notice the look and feel of a website or application first, then decide from there if they will continue to navigate through it or move on to another with more visually appealing aesthetics. Developing and releasing a brand new UI was a no-brainer for the people that are talking about this conversation. So 94% of people notice the look and feel of a website or application first. They notice the look and feel first, the first impression, before they do anything else or make any more decisions. That's why I say the power of first impressions is very important. And again, you don't have to be a professional in order to understand this or even implement it. Then we have the role of content in customization. So, what role does content play when you are customizing your website? Making sure your website is accessible and easily digestible is very important when playing a role in content customization. And a lot of these things I know are newer to some folks, and to others, they've been around for a while. But accessibility features is highly important for people. There are so many people that have certain disabilities and they want to have a great experience on your website, as well as the people that don't have disabilities. And that's why I say website accessibility is very important, at least engaging and enabling your website to be accessible. So out of 1.3 billion people globally, 1 in 6 have disabilities. That's why I said there's so many. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, 1 in 6 is not much. But when you think about that, that's still a lot. About 75% of Americans with disabilities use the internet daily. So I know that everybody who's watching this channel or watching this video is not necessarily from America, but I just wanted to drive the point home that there are a lot of people with disabilities that use the internet. So you definitely want to make sure your website is accessible and easily digestible. And the last one I'm going to read here is over 96% of the top 1 million web pages had accessibility issues in 2023. That's pretty much all of the top million web pages. They all had some type of accessibility issues. That's why I say the role of content and customization is very important. And it's something that you should be thinking about when building out your web pages or your website. And again, it doesn't mean you have to be a professional in order to do so. And then we have strategic use of colors and fonts. So we're talking about influencing behaviors, influencing moods, and influencing decisions. I think that there is a misunderstanding sometimes, or maybe people are overlooking the fact that colors evoke emotions. They make us feel a certain sort of way. For example, warmth, optimism, and happiness is usually associated with yellow. Youth, friendship, and motivation is usually associated with orange. Love, energy, appetite, even power is usually associated with red. So hopefully you're understanding my examples about when you see certain colors, whether you don't know it or you do know it. So you may not know it unconsciously, that you are being affected by colors based on how you perceive them and what they mean to you. So choosing your colors wisely and your fonts as well too plays a huge role in how your website is customized for success. Let's look at an article here from HubSpot and referencing to brand colors. Brand colors shape how people perceive your business. Up to 80% of Snap judgments about products are solely based on the color tone. 80% of Snap judgments, meaning impulse purchases, impulse decisions, are about how a color is. That's a big number. And it's the reason why, for instance, Coca-Cola has been a roaring red for as long as we can imagine because of what their brand stands for and what red means to their audience. And now we have responsive design is key. Now you're probably wondering, why would I have a person sitting on a toilet on this slide? Just want to be funny. But at the same time, I wanted to drive a point home that a lot of people use their phone when they're using the bathroom, no matter what you're doing. Usually it's number 2, but I guess you can say number 1 too. If there's a 3 and 4, hey, let me know in the comments if there's a 3 and 4 these days. But typically it's when we're doing number two. We all got a number two. Let's just keep it real. I'm going to scroll past all this information and just go to the point that I got from this article. It says the most disturbing stat about the growth of mobile usage: 75% of Americans bring their phones to the bathroom. And I thought that was very interesting. And so I would say, it's a big percentage of people, if we say globally, bring their phones into the bathrooms. Now, it depends on what kind of bathroom you have, what kind of toilet you have. I know this. There's all sorts of different scenarios, but people are using their phone in different ways, in different formats, and on different devices. So device responsiveness is definitely key when it comes to customizing your websites. My name is Maestro Stevens with Iconic Templates. And if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, if this video has been valuable to you, please like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.